Hey friends, Jonathan Neal Fitness here. And today I wanted to check in with you guys because I've been doing this 30-day intermittent fasting challenge where basically I just decided that I wanted to try out this intermittent fasting thing for myself. I wanted to see how it works. I wanted to see if it works, and I wanted to see what the effects were, what the positives, what the negatives were, and I just wanted to see if it was something that was worthwhile because we hear so much about it, so I decided to dive into it. Yesterday was actually day number 30, so I want to make this video today to kind of recap and give you a little insight into what my experience with intermittent fasting was. So first of all, laying it out again, what I did is I did what they call a 16-8 fast, which essentially just means that all eating takes place in those 8 hours. For me, it was between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. And then basically you just don't eat for the rest of the time. So that's what I did. I did that for about 30 days. And my experience with it at the very beginning, it was definitely a little rough, as making any transition is. I felt a little out of it. I was making some mistakes in how I was eating and when and what I was eating. But over time I started to smooth that out, did some more research. And all in all, I had a really great experience with this intermittent fasting thing. And I'd just like to enumerate a few of the things that I found that I got from this practice and got from doing this thing. And, that I do plan on going forward with it, and I'll just tell you some of the reasons why. Now, for me, for Jonathan Neal Fitness, fitness is not just our physical body, it's really body, mind, and spirit. We have to be really healthy and well in all three of those aspects, all three of the main human aspects, in order for us to really be considered fit, well, and healthy. So I'm going to break it down in that regard. For the body first, definitely noticed less body fat. I started to trim up some of the body fat. Definitely gained a little bit more muscle. Just in general, look better. I feel tighter. Like when I move, I don't feel as much jiggle and all that kind of stuff. Took a few photos and just liked the way that looks. So got some nice aesthetic at it, built a little bit of strength, which was really my biggest concern with fasting, is that I would lose muscle. I figured I would lose some fat if you're doing something like this, but I was kind of worried, like, I'm going to lose fat and muscle. But really my experience is that I've actually gained a little bit of muscle, gotten a little bit stronger, gotten a little bit fitter, and at the same time trimmed down that fat. So that's definitely a good thing. The second thing I noticed was that just in general, I feel better at cardio. Like, I feel like I have better endurance, I feel more focused, and I just feel like my body is just running smoother, especially when I work out in that fasted state. When that happens, then I really just feel like, I would think that I would feel more tired, more sluggish, hungry, and all that, but that kind of empty feeling actually for me was just really quite the opposite. I felt more energetic, I felt like I could perform better, I didn't have all this food and inflammation, all this digestion happening, and I was just able to really focus, and that for me has increased my endurance and my cardio. And of course, once you get that little leg up, you can train harder, you can train better, and then you can make even more gains. And that was part of my experience with this. The other thing that I would touch on for the body, the last thing for the physical body, is that it's never been something that's really been medically a problem, but I've definitely had some stuff with my heart where sometimes the heart rate feels a little high or it gets a little too poundy. And, when I'm out surfing and I'm charging really hard, paddling really hard, sometimes that heart rate just gets too high and it doesn't feel right. And, it was never really a big deal again, but I definitely felt it here and there. And that's been gone since I started doing this. I haven't had any of that. My heart rates felt much more mellow, much more regular. And even when I go out and surf, even when I push really hard at the gym, still, I get my elevated heart rate, of course, but it just feels more normal. I don't feel like it's overwhelming. It doesn't give me that sense that, like, hey, maybe this is a bad thing. Just a regular spike in the heart rate when I'm active, and then a regular return back down. So that's felt a lot better. Now the second aspect, of course, is going to be mind. And that was really, honestly, the main thing that I did this for. It's because, I'm already in reasonable shape. I'm not, out of shape. I'm not carrying on a lot of extra weight. So I was like, but I've heard that with the fasting you get some mental benefits. You get some cognitive benefits. So as I've been doing this, I've really found that to be true. I found, number one, that just the level of clarity and focus that I have has been greatly enhanced. Now, I do yoga and I do all these other meditation, all these other things to try to build that, and that definitely has helped. But this fasting thing has really taken it to another level. When I mean, just even without doing any special breath exercise or anything like that, just especially in the fasted state, just so much more focused, so much more concentrated, clarity. Like I don't have that constant stream of overwhelming nonsense thoughts, just so focused, so clear. And that goes along with the second mental aspect that I found, which is just a general relaxed feeling. Felt less anxiety, less of that trouble. As you get less of those thoughts bouncing around in the head all the time, that's just kind of a natural thing I think that happens, is that I don't have all that noise up here, and therefore I can just relax. And I feel, I feel my body relax more. I'm still stronger, still have all that capability and all the athletic capability, but I just feel more relaxed when I'm relaxing. So I don't carry that tension from exercise into relaxation. And it's just been really great. I mean, it's something that I've really wanted. These were the things that I wanted. And it's just great to see them happen. That focus, that clarity, that nice relaxed feeling. And going along with that, the final mental aspect that I'll touch on here today is better sleep. Not only does my sleep quality feel better, I sleep more through the night, I feel better when I wake up, but it's just become so much easier to actually fall asleep. And that was one of my things. I'm a very high energy guy. I'm very active. I like to always be doing stuff. And so sometimes it's been challenging for me. Sometimes when I lay in bed, it's just tough to get to sleep. I'm just there, my head's going, again, thoughts are reeling, my body's wants to move, even after I've worked out and surfed for hours. And that's something that's really cleared up with this fasting thing as well. I feel like, I'm tired when I get to bed because I work and I work out and I do all that. And I lie down and I kind of have still that little residual feeling like, it's going to be hard to sleep. But the next thing you know, I lay down, I'm on my pillow, I'm out like a light. So I've been sleeping quicker, easier, I've been sleeping better quality of sleep. Really just, again, some of the main things that I wanted to get was that mind aspect. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And that's definitely something that if you feel that you have that kind of fogginess or just lack of clarity, lack of focus, highly recommend you try out this intermittent fasting. Now the final aspect, of course, is going to be a more spiritual aspect, or that heart aspect, or whatever you want to call it. That kind of deep wellness. And the number one thing I've noticed is that strangely, and I think it comes with that clarity, with that focus, with that relaxation, is just more gratitude. It's easier for me to kind of notice, instead of noticing all the little things that are wrong from that agitated, anxious mind state, I'm starting to just come into that clarity and notice everything that's right. Becoming more present and more aware of the things that are good. I have my home, I have my health, I have this body, I have, my business, I have so many other things that sometimes just get lost in the background of that cacophony of thoughts bouncing around. And as that clears, on the spiritual level now, I'm just more grateful, more present, just feel better. And that's a huge thing, because of course gratitude is huge. If we don't have gratitude, then not only is life miserable, but we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to improve our lives if we don't have any gratitude for what we have now. So that was definitely a big thing. Really, really, really happy about that. Another sort of spiritual aspect, another inner aspect, if you will, is just the increase in self-control and discipline. And this was another huge thing that I wanted to get out of this, is that I know, I'm really super disciplined about certain things. Like I don't miss a day at the gym. I'm really good about showing up to all my appointments. I'm always there on time, always there a little early, always ready to go. But there's many other things, especially things like, the work that I have to do outside of the appointments at home and other things. And it's just, those things I had a lot less discipline on. And what I've found is that by essentially practicing discipline through that fast, that time all the way up till 2 p.m., from when I wake up to 2 p.m., where I'm having to actually just will myself into saying, no, I'm going to stick to this challenge, I'm going to stick to this commitment. And then even after 10, when 10 hits and I might still be a little hungry, to just have that discipline to be like, no, I'm committed to do this and I'm going to do it. And practicing that over these 30 days has just given me a better sense of self-control and discipline in general. And that, again, along with the gratitude, that's the other huge aspect. If I don't have gratitude and I don't have any discipline, I am not probably going to get anywhere that I want to go. It's going to be really hard for me to advance myself, whether it's, my business or my health or just making better choices in general. If we don't have self-control, we're just flapping around in the wind out here. So I'm really stoked about that as well. definitely feel more disciplined, definitely feel like I have a better control over my own action, and that's huge. Now the final thing is really just all of these things together. I'm feeling better, I'm happier about how I look, I've got more strength, more energy, more clarity, more focus, more gratitude, and all of that comes down to now in my interactions with other people, I'm more present, I feel more conscious, I feel more kind, I feel more generous. Like I just feel better, and it makes me treat people better. It makes me, of course, just naturally, when we feel good, we feel really good. We want, it just naturally sort of blossoms out from there, naturally blooms out from there. We want to do good. And it's not even a want, it just happens, and we know that. When we don't feel good, if I'm sick or I'm injured, I'm more likely to be snappy and unhappy and unkind to people, even if I don't really mean it, even if I don't have a reason to. But when I cultivate all these good feelings, again, the awareness, the presence, the clarity, the focus, gratitude, all those things lead me into just a natural state of being kinder and being more, just generous, kind, everything you could think of. So it's really just been a positive experience for me. So the wrap up of this 30-day intermittent fasting challenge is that body, mind, spirit, all positives. Yes, it's been a challenge. Yes, it required discipline. But that's, again, part of the beauty is that the discipline that it required to do it has also built discipline for me. So now I have a stronger sense of discipline in everything else. So even the challenging aspects of it itself are actually good and beneficial things as well. So I'm going to continue doing this. I don't see any reason to stop. I really am sold on this. I highly recommend you try it out. If any of these things that I've recommended or any of these things that I've said here that I've received out of it sound like things that would be good for you or something that you'd want to have in your life, then I highly recommend you check this out. But if you're going to check it out, please do it right. Don't just jump into this. I did a lot of research and continue to do research, continue to modify throughout the process. So if you need any help with that, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to comment below. Feel free to like this video, subscribe so we can keep this going. I'm going to keep talking about all kinds of things, but the fasting as well as I continue on with this. So, just keep it dialed in here. Let me know if you have any of those questions. And other than that, I appreciate you all watching this. I appreciate you taking this in, and I'd appreciate it even more if you could use some of what I share with you today to help you to have a better life, to be more fit, to be more happy, to be more healthy, and just to feel well. So thanks a lot. This has been Jonathan Neal Fitness. I appreciate you watching. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and take care until next time.